Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode. We're diving into film cinematography talk with my special guest from Zambia today, Canicius Kabwe. We're going to get into all sorts of awesome stuff. He's going to drop a lot of gems today, teach me some things about the Zambian film space, and we're just going to learn together. Hi there, you're in for a treat, but I just wanted you to know that everyone on Patreon got access to this episode early. Sounds awesome, right? Well, you can check that out and more before anybody else on Spotify, YouTube, before the public by becoming one of my patrons at patreon.com/Josiah's Voice, linked in the description box, where you'll also find links to follow the podcast. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Threads, and I have a blog, All Our Josiah B. Writes. That's at Josiah B. Writes on Instagram and Threads, and josiahbwrites.wordpress.com. Thank you to all my patrons who support me. And with that, let's jump into this new episode. Thanks so much. So, guys, I want to introduce you guys to Canicius Kabwe. Canicius, welcome, bro.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
You're welcome, man. And that's right. Shout out, salute to Justyn Davis from Lagod Lighting Masterclass. We'll get into that in a little bit. Thank you so much for making this connection, brother, and being a friend of the podcast. If you guys don't know about that, check that out. We'll put some information in the video and podcast description for the rest of you camera people, experts, everything. Tap in with Lagos Lighting Masterclass, okay? So, Canisius, rapid fire origins. What do you want people to know about you right off the bat before we dive in?
So my name is Canicius Kabwe, as you mentioned. I'm a filmmaker based in Osaka, Zambia. I studied film and television production at the Mauritius Talent Factory in partnership with the University of Zambia and the New Film Academy. My inspiration for film came from my brother, basically. I learned so much from my brother, got inspired from him, and because I've watched him through the the early stages of him becoming what he is today, and I learned so close from him, and yeah, that's what really inspired me to like be part of the film space and just love to create.
No, that's great. And so you come basically from a family of film production, including your brother. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Nice. I always love asking that. I'm always like, are my guests like the lone artist or filmmaker in their family, or is this like legacy? So your parents were also involved in film production in Zambia? Is that right as well?
Not really like film. So my mother used to do a radio show back in the
Radio.
90s, in the early 2000s. Yeah, she
Nice.
used to do radio. Yeah, so it's basically sort of like creative space.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. What about your dad? Was he involved in that space as well in his own way? Or maybe something different?
Actually, he was managing one of the cinemas that we had in Osaka.
What?
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah. No, that's cool. No, yeah. So it's that. Yeah. No, that I know we have the idea of okay, was your mom an executive and was your dad blah blah. Like it could be the case, but no, you go with your
Mm.
passion or where life takes you. That's cool. Managing the cinema, having your own radio station, being in photography. Maybe you're in hair and makeup. I don't know, but it's like it's all in the same world
Someone, yeah.
because my younger brother, one of my younger brothers back in the States, he's an artist. He makes music. He's into
Mm.
photography like yourself. He's done videography. He's done cinematography, shot films. I've done more writing. I've done more, well, not more YouTube videos than him. He does YouTube as well. Now I
Mm.
do family YouTube with my other younger brother who's here in Zanzibar with me. We have our family business and things. And so it all, yeah, in its own way, it's like certain people do certain things, but it all
Yeah.
brings you like
So,
together. You all have your own, does your family kind of have your own creative language or like understanding in that regard?
but now it's like everybody's because my mom has been like a long time. She'll be like over 20 years ago. So like she's kind of stepped out or stepped away from the creative space like completely. So at this point, it's just me and my brother.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of your brother, you both run a studio Isn't that right? Can you tell the people what your studio is, how long you've been doing it, and what's it like working together, creating projects?
Well, it's been running for like say, 2 to 3 years, I think. Yeah, that's where we like formally started like collaborating with each other. Because like then I was still learning, I was still in film school, so while the same was already running. Yeah, so we yeah, it's been running close to 2 to 3 years, I think. Yeah, and I mean it's been amazing. It's been a journey, especially for me, because the fact that I'm working with someone and that inspired me. So sort of like I'm getting free lessons almost each and every day, and that doesn't get to happen everywhere. Yeah, so I think it's been great for me. It's been learning curves each and every time we step on a project together. It's like, okay, today I'm gonna learn about this. I get to learn about things I didn't even expect that I would learn about, things I didn't even know I would need to learn about. But having someone who's like an OG, to me, I call him OG because he's like an OG because he's gone way ahead before I even jumped on the scene. He started doing it. You know, it's like years ahead of me, and yeah, so it's always great having to learn from him. And like it's like one of the biggest critiques that I have. Almost every time I do a project solo or I collaborate with other people, it's like, okay, here I've seen what you've done, and here's where you can improve here and there. I'm like, "Okay, cool, we keep going." And yeah, I know he always gives the honest truth. He give you point blank, not gonna beat around the bush. He's gonna tell you facts. And I feel like that's what really helps me as well. Because if someone's gonna be honest, I know the truth hurts sometimes, but there's nothing good about sugarcoating something. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Awesome. What's the one thing people get wrong about cinematography and DOP work? What hard truth do you need to tell? I guess you're going to be the OG now.
In the making. Yeah, I think basically, I think it's one of the most common one is people think if just because like you own a camera and you automatically qualify to be a DOP or a cinematographer because we have a lot of ish. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna come at me for this. We've got a lot of camera operators that claim themselves to be like DOPs or cinematographers. Meanwhile, it's a lot other than just owning a camera. So I feel like just yeah, a lot of people that own cameras feel like they're DPs. But that's a lot, you know, because you also have to understand the science behind it. You have to understand is your composition telling a story? Is your lighting telling a story? There's so many components that really are, the camera movements, you know, it's like those little components that make that differentiates from a camera operator and a DP.
Does content creation play any role in it as well? Like, say, what's the difference between content creation video and film DOP work or music video work? Is there a difference that people they don't realize they don't know?
I feel like because I think last year and most partly of this year, I've been doing most of content creation and whatnot. So I think it's not really like a different, but mostly because there's some people that do content creation to an extent, like they're creating sort of like a film, like a serious production. And
True,
then
very
there's
true.
yeah, and then there's people who are doing content creation just because they know how to press record on a camera. So yeah, there are people that actually consider almost everything. You can be watching their content, you look at the sound, you hear the sound is good. You look at the picture, the cinematography, the lighting is
Mhm.
basically telling a story of what they're trying to the message they're trying to convey to the people. So other content creators are actually like doing it right. Others are just like doing it for the sake of because they have to do it. They have to create content.
Nice. I see. In fact, what kind of projects do you like to do? You mentioned music videos a second ago. What more would you say
Yeah.
about your favorite types of things to get involved in, whether for a client and also for yourself, for you and your brother's studio?
Well, I think I would do music videos, short films, though I haven't done a film in like a year.
Oh, we got
Yeah,
to
I think
get
the
you back on the
last,
movie set.
I'm getting back this year. Should be in a month or two. Yeah,
Nice. Congratulations.
yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. So short, we do short films. Yeah, because I'm about to do my first feature film this year. So kind of excited
Wow.
about it.
You're going to DP your
Yeah. So
first feature film. That's huge.
yeah. So we did a short film for it, and looking at the feedback we got from people and from the festivals that we participated in. Yeah, and we actually got an award for the same short film. And now the
Nice.
director is like, you know what? Yeah, it was voted people's favorite.
So that's even more
Yeah,
momentum behind you guys.
yeah. So the director is just like, you know what? We're going in for a feature film. I'm like, cool, let's do this. So yeah, so this year I'm getting back on a film set.
That's nice. And if I heard you right, you were the DP on the short film version as well.
Yeah.
Nice. What's it called? Can you tell us anything about it? And if we're able to watch it just yet?
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube.
Nice. I'll link all of you guys watching in the video description for sure. Don't worry. So y'all can check that out. But please go ahead.
Yeah. It's basically someone who's suffering from a PTSD, you know.
Okay. Drama film, it sounds like. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a drama film. Sergeant 067. Let me drop you the link.
Sure.
I'll,
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll link that
I'll
up
drop you
for
the link.
everyone after y'all finish the interview. You'll check out Sergeant 067. It sounds
Yeah,
cool.
so
All
from that
right.
short film, we're going for a feature.
Wow. All right. So you're going to expand it. All right. That sounds really cool. What was
Yeah.
is there like one thing you learned, a new thing you learned as a DOP from that experience that you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take this with me forever into my career?
One most of the important thing that we kind of like overlook is planning. If we had more time or if we planned well, I think we'd have done better. This is why I'm putting in consideration like planning is like one of the key things because once you have everything planned out, when you get to set, it's just like let's just roll. We're rolling like that. Yeah. So I feel like planning is the key factor for me.
Pre-production for sure. I remember hearing that all the time in my film studies.
Yeah.
We used to say pre-production is king, storyboards, meetings, shot lists, you
It
name
is
it.
key. It is key. Yeah, because you once pre-production is done well, you've done almost like 30% of the project. You know,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
if pre-production is handled, you're good. If you start doing pre-production during production time, it's because now you'll be doing things just to finish, not to make it happen. Because so this is why like for me, yeah, pre-production is like it's key. So better spend more time in pre-production than that. Because if you spend more time in pre-production, you spend less time in production.
You're not losing daylight or money or resources. You're anticipating as much as you possibly can
Yeah.
to make the project go smoothly. You have as much preparation as possible with your department heads, whether it's a big production or a small one. Everyone's in charge of whatever they're in charge of. And you put your heads together, you take evaluation of, okay, what's time looking like? Do we still have that location? Permits wherever you needed permits, so on and so forth. And that can just make things go, ooh, that can just make things go as smooth as possible and make it a very memorable experience as well. Remember, guys, yes, pre-production is king. Please. In your impression, what is the current state of TV and film in Zambia, in your experience and opinion?
I feel like it's at a space where it's developing. It's like we're developing each and every time. Each and every month people are so let me talk most about the film space. It's like we're improving each and every time. Like each and every year there's growth that you can actually look at. Oh, actually we've grown as an industry from this
Nice.
point to this point, because now almost every month we've got a movie premiering at the cinema,
Awesome.
a Zambian film, actually. Yeah. So already this it should be next week. There's a movie premiere for a feature film at the cinema. So it's at a space where it's growing. Talent is being discovered, both on set people, our actors, crew. it's like it's developing. We're getting to learn more because as we're getting exposed to so much content, so much movies, and because of social media, I think learning now has become easier than it was back then. So we sort of have like resources of learning at our disposal. So it's easy for most people to learn, and as an industry, I feel like we're learning where we're growing. Given in the next 5 years, I think it's going to be a very good space. It's a developing industry, I'd say.
How old is the Zambian cinema space? As I'm living and exploring more of the continent, I'm learning, generally speaking, depending on what country you're in, it's a very young,
Hmm.
thriving industry. Like I just learned Tanzanian film space might be between 25 and 30 years old. That's like as old as I am. And I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, there's so much promise. There's so much happening. What should people know about how old the Zambian film space is as right now?
Well, I feel like it's also kind of like a young industry kind of space because I would say like maybe 20 years, I think. Because we had, even in the 2000s, we had OGs creating. I've seen a bit of short movies here and there, but I
Yeah,
think it's been like 10 years plus, I think. Yeah. So it should be 2 decades or a decade plus.
2 decades
Yeah,
there,
it's kind of
okay.
like it's a young industry. So it cannot be compared to like South African industry. That one is like an really odd industry. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is so cool to hear though. You have the right perspective of like it's so young, so many new things happening. Like you're talking about the technology, you're talking about the new stories coming out. I don't know. I've just learned so much from a lot of my conversations with people like you, with people like Uchenna over in Nigeria, or Hendrix here in Tanzania, or Justyn Davis, and just learning like there's just so much fire in the industry with like different technology, festivals popping up, different resources, hubs of community happening so that people can get their stories out. That's awesome. What would you say makes Zambian cinema so special and unique?
And this one thing I always say, it's having to create beautiful stories with the little resources we have. I feel like that's what separates it mostly from the other industries. Because we make things happen even with the little resources that we have as an industry.
Yeah,
So now imagine if we had what we needed, if we never had to compromise on budgets and stories, because stories get compromised mostly because of budgets.
sure,
But
sure.
despite that, we're able to create with the little resources that we have. So I feel like that one makes it special.
I like that. That kind of makes me think of like we would do like 48-hour film festivals, like timed festivals of like, okay, you
Yeah.
tell this short film in this amount of days or something. I've even heard of 24-hour ones. I don't think I ever participated in one, but just those constraints of like, okay, what can you do with this theme, this list of props? You can only have this many people on screen, this many
Mhm.
locations or something. And it just, or even I forgot the name of it, Ava DuVernay, who did like Selma and Woman King, one of her early most successful films. I think all took place in one house. I can't remember the name of that one right now. Or similar films, like I think there's a Tom Hardy film I like called Lock, and the whole movie takes place in his car. And he's driving on the freeway to, I think, see
Mhm.
his wife who's delivering their baby. And the constraints that they created were it's all Tom Hardy on camera, and it's just him on the phone or talking to himself, working through his emotions about becoming a new dad. And to your point of just, whenever there are certain limits for any reason, it's like what kind of creativity comes out of it. So I think that's really dope, man. Even reminds me of those, I forgot what their names, I follow them. The young kids, I forgot what African country they're in, but they do the spoofs and the parodies of popular trailers and scenes from movies. I can't remember what their name is. I think the last one I saw was their Fast and Furious one. And I saw them do a fun parody of that trailer. And I'm like, these guys have been going for years, and they're kids. They're young people.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, that's dope. And they really made a name for themselves. So, are there any Zambian films or even cinematographers, you'd shout out like, guys, you need to check out this film, and you need to follow these creators right here because they're my influences. Anyone you'd shout out? You started with your brother, OG. Salute.
Yeah, shout out to Emmanuel. I mean, it's a lot. Let me just give a shout out to the whole industry because
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
might
man.
I might miss out on a few names. So this just to avoid that, in case they get a watch, like, yo, why did you forget my name or something? But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to like to the whole film industry in Zambia. I think you guys are doing a great job. It's not easy. It's never been easy for us, but we've made things happen. But yeah, hopefully one day the sun will shine.
No, absolutely. I want to go back to something you we talked about, I think off camera. You do a lot of things. We're mostly talking about cinematography, but you also have background in film editing, isn't that right?
Yeah. Um, I worked on a telenovela for about like 2 to 3 seasons.
That's also you
Yeah, I worked as an editor.
as an editor.
Yeah.
Is educate us. What was it like to land a job like that? Because you're essentially a television editor. What would you demystify about that experience if someone's like, okay, Canicius, I live in Zambia. How do I become an editor on a television show? What was your experience like?
I think for me, what really helped me was because I got the gig through the Mauritius Talent Factory.
Through multi-choice.
So
Yeah, I keep hearing about multi-choice. They sound amazing.
yeah, so after we graduated from the film school, there were also a few opportunities where you can be an intern on certain shows. So you can work as an intern on certain shows. And yeah, I was one of them that was picked to be an intern. So I worked first as an intern, then signed a contract for an official editor. Yeah, so that's when I became an editor. So I think for me, what worked for me was through the Mauritius Talent Factory, like I said.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, that was my connection.
You said having connection. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was my connection, the Mauritius Talent Factory. That's what pushed me. That's what helped me to land the job.
that's awesome. Are you able to say what the show was for any of your brothers and sisters to be like, what show we work on? Maybe I watched it.
It's called Mpali.
In Pali. Okay. What would you say for people interested? What would you say specifically about multi-choice? Why should people be
Mhm.
curious and interested in multi-choice to further their film education and career?
If we look at Zambia, right, I think it's only now that we've had a university that's going to teach you about film. But back then, we never had where we can go to and learn about film, like an institution that's going to teach you about film. And if you look at other film schools outside the country, because most people had to travel, others had to travel to SA and after others would go to Europe just to go learn film, which was quite an expensive thing to do. And with the multi-choice with this initiative that the multi-choice introduced, that's the multi-choice talent factory, it kind of helped us in a way that first of all it saves you time and money because it's free, and we learned almost from we learned from the origin of the story until distribution of the story in a space of 1 year, right?
Wow.
And which takes about like 2 3 years at other film schools just to learn. We learned about that in like a space of 1 year. So the multi-studying factor has really helped to shape the industry because now we're able to learn about film within our country. Don't There's no need for us to travel to go outside the country and just go learn about film.
Nice. So they didn't have to go because you're right, it can be very expensive um,
Hmm.
to be learning film. And you said, did you say multi-choice was free?
Yeah, it was free.
What?
Didn't pay for anything.
That's still the case to this day, to you, as far as you understanding. Well, I know you've already graduated.
Yeah, it's still running. Yeah, it's free and it's
That's.
running.
Do you know off the top of your head how many countries multi-choice is in for newbies, for people who are like, oh, I've just heard of multi-choice. Where is it? Where is it located?
So because they've got hubs for each region of Africa. So there's the southern region, yeah, and then there's also East Africa and West Africa as well.
Awesome. That's great, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're in East Africa, there's a hub for you. If you're in Western Africa, there's a hub for you. If you're in Southern region of Africa, there's a hub for you where you can apply, and once you get accepted, you can learn about film.
Nice. And you're using the term hub. I like that. So it's a filmmaking hub. What more would you say to describe? Okay, somebody don't know what multi-choice is as a filmmaking hub. Here's like the top three things you need to know about multi-choice, according to your experience. What would you say?
First, number one, you're going to learn about film because it's going to teach you about the creative side of film, and also it's going to teach you about the basic side of film. And also, other than just film, we also learned about just knowing who you are, basically, like it's just not gonna be about film. It's gonna learn about film, learn about your personal you like yourself, and also about the business as well.
Nice. So it sounds like overall personal development, art both personally, artistically, business was
Yeah.
very business was very good. I mean, it's very important to know, like what are your values? What are your convictions? Do you believe in yourself? For example, we have our days. Some days you're feeling
Mm,
really confident in your skills and talents. Other days, maybe not so much. Maybe sometimes you're comparing yourself on Instagram. I'm not above it. I have my days too, but multi-choice
mm,
also sounds like it has some coaching and programs that also develop you personally. What would you say also about the business side? Because I'm hearing, thankfully, more and more these
mm,
days, there are programs, film coaching, film seminars, things in film institutions where they are
mm,
focusing more on developing the business side. Everyone can't wait to pick up a camera. I went to school mainly for screenwriting. People can't wait to go and learn to act, all the artistic stuff, you know. But I know that
yeah.
I neglected the business as well. You're seeing more of that in multi-choice and in the film industry overall as well, more business education.
Yeah. Because I feel like we have, and also one why I think it was so important because even just like even if I step away from like film business, like just business in general, you can have a great product in your hands. But if you don't know how to do it, what to do with that product, you basically just have nothing because you're not gonna generate funds, basically. You know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna sell your product, basically. So actually, it was great because also taught us how you can actually sell your product as if you can sell your film and how you can be able to get if it's sponsorship or funding for your project. We also kind of learn those things and how you can also sustain the business. Because in as much as the business is happening, can you sustain it for a long period of time? Because most businesses fail at year five. Not almost of not only a few businesses past that level year five of business years. So I think they also taught us those things.
What's one, in fact, business tip that you learned with your time with multi-choice that's really served you to today? For example, you and Emmanuel, your brother's studio. Maybe it's effect had a great impact on that, as well as your solo business as well. Like, what's one thing multi-choice taught you that you're like, yeah, I took this away forever. My businesses will thrive because of this experience.
But like one important key is package, basically.
Package,
How
okay.
you Yeah, like how you package a product is what's going to determine if you're going to sell it or not. Because sometimes even bad products are packaged very well, so they can be sold. So they can be attractive to the eye, you know. So I feel like one important thing is packaging. Even just like personally, let's say as a creative, the way you package yourself is what's going to determine if you're going to sell or not. Not not everybody I'm sorry for saying this. Not everybody that's creating out there is like is like good, but just because of how they package themselves. It's like here's a package. Here's me. Here's how I'm doing it. And now it's how attractive is that package to people's eyes. So basically, I think packaging is like one important thing. It's like how you package yourself is what's going to determine if you're going to sell or not.
Awesome. Thanks for that, man. Lagos Lighting Masterclass. Tell us how you got in, what Lagos Lighting Masterclass is, and how you got involved and what you've taken away from it.
So Legos lighting is it Legos lighting? So it's basically a film workshop. you know, where we learned mostly is like the on set, uh, it's like on set activities, like lighting, DOP and whatnot. That's what we learned mostly. And I got through the Lagos lighting class through the multi-choice talent factor. So there was a module that we had to learn because the other time we were learning things online because of COVID, because we're doing it during COVID times. So we basically were doing theory of film basically through most of the time until COVID eased up, and then we had Justyn Davis fly over to Zambia and just like teach us lighting and cinematography.
That's amazing. How long did your program last for?
I think we did for like a week.
Nice, nice. Was that their first time to Zambia, as far as you're concerned? Or maybe they'd been before?
They've been before. I think it was the first time for Justin.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was it for you working with Justin and the other instructors? Because he's awesome. I still keep in contact with him. We did an episode together, guys. Check that out. If you're enjoying this talk with Canicius, check out my talk with Justyn Davis, one of the leading instructors, Lagos Lighting Masterclass.
Justin is a god of light. Let me just say that. Just to describe him. Trust me. I'm like, okay. Like I was just being amazed each and every day would have our sessions. And the sad part was like it was only for a week. Now, if in a week I learned that much from him, imagine what I would learn if I was to spend like a year or a month with him. Like my skills would skyrocket to the highest level because I was so great learning from him. Like I learned like most challenges I used to have on set when I'm doing lighting. He actually taught me the fastest ways we can solve those challenges we face, and how you can make it better. Because sometimes we just place lighting because I saw on a YouTube video, so this guy placed the light here and there. So probably that's what worked. That's what worked for him, but actually taught us like real life situations, like on set situations where you have to, because one of the things you have to be a problem solver on set, and that what keeps the set rolling. You know, you kind of taught me those initiatives and how you can make your footage look better with lighting. Because I mean, lighting is key when it comes to footage. So many ins and outs. I mean, I learned so much from him. I think there's a very big upgrade if you look at the time before I got introduced to Justyn and the time I got introduced to Justyn.
Awesome. And yes, guys, I'm going to link you to all of Canisius's work in the video description. I got y'all covered. Check that out down there. But yeah, so you said just in those 7 days with Justyn, like you leveled up like incredibly. Is there like one thing that you learned that like you're still doing? Like maybe you did it on the shoot last night, or maybe you're like, no, I'm going to do this on the film that we're going to make in like 2 months' time. Is there something that he gave you that like you're still using it now?
One thing he told me is just make it look natural. Yeah, like don't over exaggerate it. Just make it look natural. Sometimes simplicity is good.
So yeah, thanks for that, Canisius, because yeah, multi-choice and Lagos Lighting Masterclass, they just sound amazing. Lighting's not my thing, but I took some things from it when I was at Towson University, and just screenwriting was my thing, but I didn't know that I had to become a generally well-rounded filmmaker. I thought, oh, I'm gonna just go to school and I'm gonna just focus on typing and telling screenwriters like, no, you gotta learn some sound, some field sound, you gotta learn some lighting. But just so exciting to hear about just an amazing week of Lagos Lighting Masterclass with Justyn. I hope all of y'all who are listening and watching, if you're interested in DOP work, interested in cinematography, and you live on the continent of Africa, and you want to get involved, check the information that I'm gonna put in the description. Find out when the next cohort is happening. Maybe it's coming to a country, to a city near you on the continent, and just get involved and level up. Because Justin's just he's a man. He really is.
And then just like tracking back from what you said, like you said you went to film school just to focus on like screenwriting, right?
Yeah,
Even for me, just like I'm just gonna go there for camera work. I don't want anything else. But surprisingly, got introduced almost to everything.
exactly. You got
I
introduced to
even had a
everything.
I even had a chance to write my first film. first project I wrote from there,
Nice.
mm, which ended up being a feature film. Yeah, it ended up to be one of the feature films that we did for us during school. The one that we worked on as students,
Awesome.
you know, because yeah, I went there just like to focus on camera, but learned sound, learned a bit about producing, you know, just learned overall creation of a story from genesis until like distribution of the story. So yeah, but like my main focus is camera, but yeah, like now you gotta learn these little things as well.
Exactly. Like
Yeah,
even editing, like, I'm going to do edits on this podcast. I do
yeah.
editing on other videos. I do freelance editing as well. Again, I didn't go to school to learn none of that. And then I looking at what I got to fill for my semester, and I'm like, wait, what? I got to learn, the Final Cut and Adobe Suite and all that. I'm like, but it has made me a stronger storyteller overall. Nothing wrong if your track was cinematography, your track was acting. It's great to have like one thing that you're most passionate about, but becoming well-rounded has served me well as well. It's served you well. That's awesome.
Yeah, because there's this bad habit that I picked up some time back of like, yeah, I'm gonna fix it in post type of situation because I knew what I was shooting,
Yeah.
because I know because if I never learned all these other aspects, I don't think I would have saved much time as I saved in production because I knew, okay, now like I'm an all-round person, like I understand the editing side, I understand also the production side. It's like there are things we'll be looking at, and okay, it's gonna say it saves you money and time at the end of the day, being an all-round person. So I feel like it really helped me because there are things that I was worried about before, they were so unnecessary for me to worry about. So that's like, oh wow, it was really a great experience for me.
For cinematographers and DOPs, what's one pitfall that you see a lot of newbies fall victim to that you'd want them to avoid?
I feel like wanting to be a superstar. Yeah, and also just understanding that your job is to be behind the scenes. Even if nobody knows you, it's fine.
No, because a lot of magic is happening behind the scenes, and it's okay to not always be in the spotlight. You get your spotlight when it's time. Did that humility come naturally to you, or did you have to learn it?
Both, I think. It's been both because I had it within me and also had to learn it as well, because I feel like it was the early days. Actually, I learned it through a photography workshop. There was this one facilitator. He was just like he was kind of teaching us qualities of like what makes you a good photographer and stuff. Then this is one thing that I always carry is like, don't aim to be a superstar. You need to know that your job is gonna be behind. Don't aim to be seen even in front of the camera because we have most people that want to be superstars and it's not working out well.
Gosh, it can ruin the work. It can ruin relationships as well. Because as we were discussing earlier, no productions, it can be expensive in some respects to go get education. But then after you have the education, making a project is also expensive. As they say, we're chasing daylight. For
Mm.
example, you hear time is money a lot on film sets, and in most respects, it is because people's time is valuable, and you're paying for this equipment, paying for these people to be here, paying to feed these folks, and we are here to make something as amazing as possible. But if you're, missing your marks because you want to be seen, or if you're messing around with the talent or the equipment or something get broke, all because you want to be a star, you can get burned because the film community, in my experience, no matter where you're at, is pretty small and people talk. And the last thing you want them talking about how great you were, not how don't ever work with them again. You don't want that.
Yeah, it's like everyone knows someone that knows you, that knows someone that you want to know later. It's really a small space. Even the person you least expected for them to know you or heard about you, they actually have heard about you. You just didn't know. So it's yeah, this I guess it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's a small space everywhere. Everybody knows someone that knows you.
Exactly. What's one thing that you think would surprise people about the Zambian cinema industry? Or learn that, for example, in Tanzania and South Africa, it would happen to be mostly TV shows being made, though films are being made, but it's a heavy television production space. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Because loosely in the Hollywood system I'm used to, loosely it's maybe 50-50 TV and film. That's not exact at all, but you get the impression it feels like, oh, there's just as much to watch at the cinema, films, as there is to watch TV mainly. What's something that would surprise people about the Zambian cinema space as of right now?
First, let me start with the TV space. You know, so it's mostly there's so much TV content to watch almost at any time you feel like watching content.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the and that's been made possible because the TV space it's got backing, it's being funded, you know. There's most of the production, let's say, as well, like so the channel called Zambezi Magic. So it's what like even one of the productions that I worked on as an editor, it was like funded by MultiChoice. The TV space, most of like shows are being funded. And then when you come to the film space, it's like how I said, it's like how we make things happen despite not having so much resources to our disposal. You know, we've got people creating movies out with money out of their pockets, and then we have nowhere to take the film, basically. So mostly, and that's the sad part is if you don't watch most of Zambian films on the day of the premiere, I don't know where you're gonna watch it again, and which is really sad because we need Zambian films to be in those cinemas the
Yeah.
same way we can go to the cinema right now. So I'm gonna watch the Michael Jackson movie that's about to come out. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go, I can go any day and I'm gonna find the film. So at least we need to reach a stage where on any given day I'm gonna get off. Let me get to the cinema, expect to watch a Zambian film there. There's been there's been some streaming platforms that here and there where you can watch some Zambian films, but not every film is there. So once you miss the day of the premiere, for you to watch it again, it's gonna take luck for you to watch it, you know. So I think that's why one of the things is how we make it happen even without the resources but at our disposal.
Gotcha. And would that be what you'd like to also see change? I was going to ask, like, what would you like to see change? If there's more, that's perfectly fine too. That's something you'd like to see change and upgrade for the Zambian experience.
Like for the film space, basically we don't have much funding, I would say it's little to zero funding. So if we can have uh corporate entities jumping on board and just like film distributors are come on board and just like funding to the industry, trust me, f putting money into a Zambian film industry, I think you wouldn't regret putting money in there.
I love that. Here,
There's
here. Yeah. No regrets there.
you
You won't
wouldn't
be
regret.
sorry.
There's so much talent. There's so many great stories. Like you'd go to the cinema and be like, you watch the Zambian film and be like, wow, this is a great story, man. But sadly, it's only gonna end here. You're not gonna watch it anywhere else. It's not gonna go anywhere. At least if you can have some right channels for distribution, we're gonna have a lot of stories coming out of Zambia. There's so much talent in Zambia, trust me. We just don't have the exposure that we feel like we and also it's because it's a young industry, I understand, but trust me, we've got James in Zambia, trust me. At least we've got this local streaming site that has got some of the Zambian films there. But I don't know if it's available in all parts of the world. But for mostly it's got the Zambian content.
That's
You know?
awesome. I'll make a note of it. What's it called?
Yeah, should be is it Inuit?
You said Inuit. Did I hear you right?
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it.
I'll make that our because yeah, you never know. So I'll list that for people to check out because you're reminding me. Thanks for this education, man. Because you're right. It's funding is so important for not only getting the movie made, getting the TV show made, the web series, music video, what have you, but also yeah for distribution. It's like I remember what's his face, the mogul Dame Dash was saying that he was in an interview with somebody 19 Keys or someone. He was just talking about the power of distribution and the different distribution
Mhm.
channels that you need. So it's like you could have a fire product, but yeah, if people can't see it, if people don't know, you're right. You're right. Where to find you're saying there's so much Zambian talent in front of the camera, behind the camera, and you want the world to be able to see it. That's why I hope more things like I hope people can access the streaming service you're telling me about Inuit, things like, Criterion Channel and what is it, Black Film Archive.
Mhm.
We got to talk about YouTube. There's a lot of different YouTube channels that are preserving a lot of Black film in general, so that you can find things from local, that could be anywhere, local filmmakers are making, or hidden gems and things so that people can access these stories. There's like Quelly TV for a lot of like independent filmmakers, especially in the African diaspora and things like that. Like, so I'm feeling you. That's resonating with me so much because I got watch lists, I got letterbox, I got all types of where I'm like, okay, where can I, find a recommendation from a friend, and it's so important so that you can get exposed um, and find all these different past and future, gems and artifacts and things of film. So I really, really appreciate you shouting that out and making that's a big deal. More people need to know about that. Do you have a favorite project to date that you've made and that people can check out?
I don't think I have one yet that I've
No?
worked on and said this one is my favorite. Yeah, but my goal right now is the one we're making next, the one we're
Yeah,
about to make,
yeah.
definitely gonna be my favorite.
That's going to be your favorite. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I feel like there's been so much personal growth, which I also because I learned from the mistakes that we made on the previous project. So I was like, okay, I'm I'm yet to rectify those mistakes that I made, and this is why I'm just like aiming for the next project to be like that one project. That's okay. This is my favorite project. As of now, they're all my babies.
I know you're like, man, he making me choose. But it's like, no, no,
You know,
but
it's like they're all my kids, man. Which one's the favorite?
nice. No, that's
Yeah.
great. What's one thing you want new Zambian filmmakers to know before they start their careers?
Just start, and as you go, you will learn that we might not have like similar paths to what success looks like when it comes to the industry and the creative space, and just like start learn as much as you want to learn from almost everybody. As you are learning, pick out what's working for you. Not what worked for me is going to work for you. For me, what worked for something else for you is that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So learn as much as you want to learn, and learn what's working for you. Like you would want to be like someone that inspires you, but remember also they had different journey. There are things that you don't see on screen that happens behind the scenes. You don't know what goes through their lives and whatnot, and why they took certain decisions.
Okay.
So you can learn from them, but don't try and be them. Create yourself out of what you've learned from them.
You're not a clone of Emmanuel. Your brother's your brother. You're you.
Yeah. Yeah, and me, it's like he's got his own creative style. I've got my own creative style. You know.
Yeah. Any film gear you'd shout out where you're like, okay, guys, you need to get this. Make sure this is in your kit.
Let me start. Okay, let me start with one set. With camera wise, we can never run away from the FX3. Yeah. The
Okay.
FX3 is a beast.
FX3. Okay.
I haven't owned it yet, but I'm aiming to. By the time that I've gotten exposed to it, I don't think I would go like I would choose it each and every time I would get it. If I had to choose between it or other cameras, I would choose it because of how small. Looking at what it can do, it's like great. So I think I would go for it for the lenses. You know, like sadly, my favorite lens now has become like an 85 millimeter. I don't know why, but like it's doing what I want to do. And
Nice.
also for post wise, yeah, I mean you need to get Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. Okay.
For that nice color grading, you need it.
So
Yeah,
FX3 85 millimeters. Is that what you said?
yeah I mean that's the one I've been using of late, the 85 millimeter. Yeah.
and Da Vinci. Those are somebody that's what's in your tool bag right now, and that's what you're enjoying. So you'd recommend that people to try those
Yeah,
out. What do you love absolutely about filmmaking?
being able to bring a story to life is one thing I love about filmmaking because it's just words. Not turning words into picture and sound, you know. And that's like
Yeah.
that's one thing so interesting about it. And that's one thing I love about it, being able to turn words into picture and sound.
And how do you network? And what would be your best advice for someone? A lot of time, not always, sometimes DOPs and people behind the scenes in general kind of be a little introverted. I'm introverted. They might even be a little shy, but it is a people business and a people art form.
Like some of like for me, it's through it's through like the through events basically. That's how I network. It can either be a film premiere or just like I told you, I was filming an event last night, a music event. So through those spaces, you get to meet people that make the right decisions. You know, people that make the final decisions in certain places that you might need connections to. It's through networking and going out, and not in as much as we might be introverted and stuff. But there's a time where you have to step out. For you, if one turn certain things, you have to step out and be out there. So I think through film premieres, film events, and just other networking workshops that come up, just once I get some time, if my schedules are allowing, I would go there and just like you learn a few things, you meet new people.
Film premieres is
Yeah.
also really good because especially if you can check out, what new stories are coming out. The producers, directors, and
Mhm.
actors, cinematographers will be there, and you can just have those create that line of commonality of, oh, I love your choices in this film, or this was interesting. It's a great place to also focus. Like, don't go there. My little advice would also, don't go there to be a critic, guys. It's networking. So
Yeah.
don't go there picking stuff, everything you might not like, and that's okay. But this is the time to like go to a film festival, meet some new folk, and really like gush about, I love the color grading in this. You use Da Vinci, yeah, or oh, I could tell that was an 85 mil, or that's the place to really like everything's positive, everything's beautiful, and this is elevating the art form that you and some new friends really love. I love that advice. What would you say more about mentorship? You multi-choice, you did Lagos Lighting, Justyn Davis is the man. What would be your final thought regarding mentorship to encourage the new folks behind you coming up behind you?
You need mentorship, basically. It might be looked as if it's like a bougie type of thing, but you need mentorship because I had to learn from people that went before me. And mentorship gives you this chance to learn from people that have done it way longer than you have. They know about the mistakes that they made and what worked and what's working for the industry, you know. So now imagine if I never went through mentorship with Justyn Davis. I don't think I would be where I'm at right now in terms of
Word.
like the my light yeah, my lighting space, because
Yeah.
you had to go through some mentorship. You had to learn from someone who has done it way longer than you have done it. Someone who's got more knowledge about what you want to do.
Hmm.
And this is why mentorship is so important. You have to. If you've got a chance to like go through mentorship, go through it. I advise people who got access to going for a mentorship class or have a personal mentor who they can look up to, they can call up anytime. Like, do it, please. Because there are times when I would call Justin. So like, hey man, I've got this project I'm working on in a couple of days coming, and I need your help. How do you think I would how best do you think I'll do it? It's like, okay, so what's your plan? I'll give you my plan. So there's my plan. Da, 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 da. This is what I want to do. Like, great. So okay, here do this instead of doing this because of this and that. Here do this and do that because of this and that. And when time for production comes, I just follow what he taught me and the insights he gave me. It kind of worked well. And now imagine if let's take out the mental part. I don't think I would have done what I did.
Would that's a good way to also keep up with the business side of film, well, anything in filmmaking. Mentorship can really help with that because there are new things evolving all the time, different policies, things in technology. you
Hmm.
name it. Mentorship
Yeah.
would be a good way to do that. And is there any other way you'd say, oh, guys, here's another way to just keep up with the development of your industry in general? Try this. What would you say that would be if there was anything else?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier on, it's just like learn as well. You know, you can learn. There's so many learning platforms now compared to let's say 5 years ago. So much has changed, and new technology is being released almost each and every year. There's like new technology. You know, there's an advance to the film space, or even just the creative space each and every year. So learning never stop. Just like never stop learning as well. Just learn as much as you want to learn, as much as you have to learn, either from YouTube, through articles, just learn.
Do you happen to have frequent collaborators when you're make music video, short film? Do you happen to work with some of the same people?
Yeah, for music videos, I kind of work with the same people. So there's a friend of mine, Charles, and is one of the people that actually is one of is someone who taught me editing. It was the first person to teach me how to edit pictures when I was a photographer. The
Awesome.
first few pictures I edited, it was him that taught me. I would say also is partly is like one of the people like I look up and just like how's this, or if I do something, it's like someone who also like critiques and stuff. I think a few days or 2 days ago I sent him something I did. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, tweak here, which made sense. Yeah, so like I've got Charles, like I work with him almost on all music videos I've done. So it's either he's the DOP, I'm doing light, I'm the DOP doing camera work. That's how we work, me and him,
That's so cool,
and with
man.
other guys as well.
That's awesome, man. This has been great, Canisius. I've learned so very much. I hope all the viewers and listeners have learned a lot too, and will keep up with you. I'm going to put all of your contact information in there so that people can see what you're up to next. So I know you got the feature film this year. Is that the main thing you're excited about this year, or is there anything else that you're like, here's what the year has to offer?
It's the feature film was like number one on the list. I'm working towards creating an agency, a creative agency basically, an
Oh,
advertising agency. Yeah, because I've been working so much with there's this one thing I never thought I would do in my life. It's like social media management, you know, and
hmm.
content creation. So I've been managing social media and content creating for certain brands here. I don't want to mention names though.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, like I've been doing that. I think for like a year plus now. I started last year March. Yeah, it's not a year and a month, I think. Yeah, so now I wanna expand more on that. Just like have a whole creative space where we're managing and content creation for different brands is what I'm also working towards. And also just creating more also social media presence for myself in as much as I'm creating for other brands,
For
also
sure.
just
Can't
putting
neglect
myself out
yourself.
there. Yeah, I mean, because they're bringing the bag, so it's like the focus mostly is on them. Yeah, like
No,
and because I'm trying to not trying to be a superstar in this space. So this is why I'm sort of like limiting my social media presence most of the time. I'd rather
okay.
put the work out there than myself.
Gotcha. Respect, man. I
Yeah.
got you. Well, this has been great, man. This is awesome. So is that you guys can follow the next thing Canisius and his company has out, his social media, where you can find those things, YouTube, Instagram, his website, all that. I'll put that in there so y'all can see what he's doing next. Also, some of you might, I hope you get some new collaborators as well to work with you and your guys. You'll the right blood that works in there. He'll, scrutinize, guys, it's okay. But I love this space and how people are connecting and meeting and learning. People want to learn from you, keep up with what you're doing. Again, thank you, Justyn, for the connection. This was fire. This was so great, man. It really was. And Canisius, thank you. I'll be keeping in touch. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this, both
Mhm.
publicly. Thank you to the patrons as well who support this. And with that, guys, we're going to see you on the next one. Hope you learned a lot. Peace out.